Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
You're listening to the Drinks and Destinations podcast.
Did you know that there is a drink called Saliva wine? Chica, as it's popularly called, might look like just another drink, but the makers chew the maize and cover it in their saliva to break down the starch. Once that's done, they put it in warm water and let it ferment, and that's how you get saliva wine. Well, in this episode, we discuss all that and more in the Off the Beaten Track section. Hi, I'm your host Rojita, and this is the Drinks and Destinations podcast. My co-host Sameera and I are going to share some bizarre drink stories from all around the world today.
Absolutely, Rojita. This is a very interesting episode that we have, and honestly, when we were talking about it or doing our research or scripting it, I was like, ew, oh, this exists. So everything bizarre you can think of, you're thinking lizards, you're thinking baby mice, you're thinking snakes, they all can be in your
Horse
drink.
semen.
Oh,
So,
but
yeah,
yes, guys,
well.
all of this, and people actually have a liking to all these things, and they're considered to have healing properties as well. So let's begin. If your New Year resolution is something about doing bizarre things or trying bizarre and off the beat drinks, this is definitely the episode for you.
Off the Beaten Track.
We are going to begin with the Chica story, how that goes. So Chica is the original Inca drink, and Chica was the most popular drink in those Inca days, and during the festival they drank only Chica. And it was also used in ritual purpose and is still made in different parts of Peru, though not the most popular drink nowadays. But quite a few local people still like it. And in fact, during the Inca Empire, it was made from corn. Now, corns were chewed to pulp. And since saliva helps to convert starches to fermented sugars, Inca followed this procedure. And then they were mixed with warm water and they were left there for a few days. So it became mildly an alcoholic drink. And in fact, women were sent to school to learn preparing chica during Inca days. Now, that's amazing. Yeah, and from the 15th century, the recipe of Chica actually changed. From then, malted corn took place of chewed corn. Thank God for small mercies. And since then, it has not changed much. And well, no surprise there that it's not a very favorite amongst tourists. And I'm sure like when you're on a holiday mode and you want to do something different or something, people try it. But definitely if you're interested, you need to look for the Chica flag. And people who made Chica put a red cloth on a high pole.
So people who make it at home, so they usually put a red flag outside the house.
That don't have it.
Yeah. To let you know that yes, we make Chica at home.
Oh God. So yeah, this absolutely bizarre drink is something you guys can try. Just look out for
the red flag.
And I hope nobody's like drying their red t-shirt on the terrace and you just enter their house saying, "Hi, can I have some chica?" So yeah, what's the other weird drink we have?
Oh my God, there are so many of them. So there's another one called Gilpin Family Whiskey.
Okay.
And that's basically made from elderly diabetics' urine drink.
Oh, you're joking.
Yeah, it's absolutely serious. There's something like that.
Okay.
A bottle of Gilpin Family Whiskey, the number on it doesn't denote the age of the bottle, but that of the elderly diabetic volunteer whose sugar-rich urine was used to brew this. So our producer is laughing and everyone in the studio is going crazy.
And a lot of our listeners will be like...
it's something unheard of. I don't know who... people are actually making drinks like that. So the story behind this is that James Gilpin, who graduated from Design Interactions in London in 2010, he suffers from type 1 diabetes.
Okay.
So he has used his own experience of the condition to explore, but also discuss the consequences of using science to alter the body's abilities. So the designer's project, Family Whiskey, is inspired by the fact that large amounts of sugar are basically excreted on a daily basis by diabetic patients, and especially older people who don't have adequate control of their sugar levels.
I think there are enough people drinking these drinks. Like we've gone on a quest of finding weird drinks, and I was like, how many are we going to find? And we found quite a few.
Quite a few
right?
of them, absolutely.
So yeah, there's also squirrel beer if you guys are interested, and there's snake wine. And usually like what I'm noticing most about these, that people like the Chinese or the Vietnamese really believe that the
snake has healing powers.
Yeah, they cure a lot of illnesses. They have healing properties, and I think that's what the snake wine is popular for. I think of all the things that could be tried, I'd probably try the snake wine. Probably, I don't know. Don't quote me on that. And there's a very interesting 3 lizard liquor.
Ew.
Ew, yes, and we saw, I wish we could show you guys the images. I saw the images like a huge jar, and these are not like your tiny house lizards. I saw like
big ones.
Dinosaur, crocodile-like lizards, 3 of them in a jar. And so you take 3 live lizards, put them in a container filled with 75 proof alcohol and seal it tight. And lizards and geckos give out heat energy, which again, like we mentioned, is good for health. And there you are. It's as simple as that. 3.
Oh my God.
So I feel the process is so much easier. Like when we talk about the process of making wine and letting it sit for a year, here you just take 3 lizards off.
Live lizards? Oh my
Yes.
God. That's I don't know.
I would wonder what kind of taste it would add, but
do you want to try it? Seriously?
all you wacky people out there, something you want to try, 3 lizard liquor something. And we have cobra blood and bile.
Oh my
yes.
God.
Now, arak is a traditional Indonesian alcoholic drink. And when you mix cobra blood and bile to it, it turns into a medicinal drink that helps with respiratory problems, increasing stamina, sex drive, and mostly for men. Now, this is, they say, like a drink which is popular amongst men.
Oh my God. I think we are getting into that gross drink segment. Seriously.
But it does happen. Like when I see cuisines around the world and and so in drinks, if they can eat it, I'm sure
Why
I
not
can
drink
it. Yeah.
Okay, all that and more coming up now just after the break. So stay tuned.
It was rated Goregaon's most intelligent podcast. It was the best new podcast of the day when it was launched. And now, the irreverent brand of attempted humor and botched education is coming your way. You have many burning questions.
So what is the Brexit? What do mathematicians do, man? I mean...
Introducing Simplified, a weekly podcast that deconstructs issues around you, such as, what on earth is Bitcoin?
So Bitcoin is just another currency like the rupee or dollar. The difference here is it's a virtual currency.
Do resolutions in cameras really matter?
They think that just because a number is higher, what they're getting is actually more.
And encryption.
So encryption, okay, is a process of encoding messages in such a fashion that only the intended recipient sees it in its intended format.
Hosted by Narendra Shanoy, a very wise man who can't stop making B.G. Woodhouse references. And Deepak Gopalakrishnan, who calls himself Chuck, a madman who can't stop making poor jokes.
Naren, what do you call a forest where you find all the latest news?
I don't have a good feeling about that.
A topical rainforest.
Follow Chuck and Naren as they scour Google and read Wikipedia for you and condense it into language you can understand. Simplified, helping you appear smarter to an audience that knows no different.
Welcome back, and today we are talking about some bizarre drinks from around the world. So Sameera, have you heard of the snake wine?
I am, and I'm very intrigued. Tell me more.
Okay. Thailand has rice and grain wine fermented along with a venomous cobra, and that's what makes the snake wine. And I think you also spoke about snake wine sometime back in Vietnamese.
What I'm really surprised about, Rojita, like when a snake kind of bites you could die. It's poisonous, and I don't know how like these poisonous qualities become great in alcohol, which is really mind-baffling.
I know something that in China they actually use snake for a lot of medicinal purposes,
right.
And there are beijus which have sometimes they have snakes as well in them. And so I think it's incredible how snake could be so beneficial for.
I know. It's like your whole life you're told to avoid the snake and then you're told to eat and drink the snake. It's a very perplexed situation for us.
And in China, there's another drink called three-penis wine.
Okay.
So Chinese
Very
rice
interesting
wine.
name.
Yeah, Chinese rice wine that is fermented with the manhoods of deer, dog, and seal. So that's another drink that maybe we should try next time when we are in China.
And I'm noticing the regions these are coming from. Are you noticing it's mostly like very few am I noticing something like from
East Asian countries.
Yeah, this is mostly China, Vietnam,
Thailand.
Indonesia. Very few.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to something from like a weird wine from France or like a bizarre drink from Germany. So it's very region specific also, I think, these
There are
bizarre
some
drinks.
other weird wine, drinks from different parts of the world as well. But yeah,
I think
snake
majority.
is something
Yeah.
they have taken a liking to.
Yeah.
Asians, they just love snakes.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. And there's another drink called bilk in Japan. And there is a fruity tasting drink which is a mixture of milk and beer. That's something maybe we can try.
I think in our bizarre list, this is the least bizarre.
Yeah. So you're just saying that these drinks are only in Asia, but there is another drink called Scorpion vodka.
Okay.
That comes from UK, and a British company brews up this drink to add a little zing to the favorite cocktail.
Okay.
So imagine having a scorpion in your vodka.
Well, this is kind of giving me nostalgia about the mezcal.
During our Mexico
minute. Do you think
episode.
that would qualify on our list today?
It should, because there are some mezcals which have scorpion in them.
Right.
And mezcal, obviously, quite a lot of them have the gusano, the maguey, so the worm that you eat and drink as well. So that's quite similar to that.
Yes, and I think it's time now we are moving away from Vietnam, China, Indonesia.
Oh, there's another drink in Mexico, by the way, which is called pulque.
Yeah.
And pulque is made from the fermented sap of the maguey plant.
Yeah.
And of course, the mezcals, they have the gusano from maguey as well. So pulque is also a bizarre drink.
Yeah.
Which is coming back now in a very big way in
It is,
Mexico,
apparently it's this milky white drink, and like we said, moving away from the region, like this is something which is popular in Mexico, a fairly bizarre drink, and it's traditional to like central Mexico where it's been produced for the millennia, and it has the color of like milk, and it's somewhat like viscous consistency and like a soy yeast kind of taste it's supposed to have. So
I wonder. I didn't try it during my Mexico trip. I wonder
don't
how
think
it
you
was.
would even try it if you were offered. Do you think so?
If I could try gusano, why not a pulque?
I think I know why you didn't try this, because this drink was considered sacred, and it probably still is, and it's exposed to like a limited or certain amount of people. So I don't think it's a very popular drink which you just like put out there. In fact,
but I recently read an article where this said that the youngsters in Mexico are actually asking for pulque in the bars and restaurants.
Oh,
so it's a traditional drink, but which is coming back.
I think something for the next trip.
Yeah,
because it doesn't sound that
Bizarre.
disastrous to me. Yeah, and in fact, I think the popularity you're saying, it had reached its peak in the 19th century, and 20th century it kind of lost its popularity and to beer, and beer got more popular, and
cerveza.
Yeah. So this drink is something which is, I feel, little less bizarre. So guys, if you want to try something different, go for the pulque, I'd say.
Yeah.
Now I want to talk about my favorite, and the one drink
What
that
is it?
really
What is your favorite?
intrigued
Tell us.
me. Any prizes for guessing now? Has anyone out there heard of baby mouse wine?
Oh my god.
Oh, it's not even the beginning. Let me. So now this wine comes from China, and it contains a hint of oak, a flourish of cherry, and the unmistakable, overwhelming taste of dead baby mice.
Ooh,
yes, and it's made by like drowning live baby mice no older than 3 days in rice, moonshine, and letting it sit for a year.
Oh my
So
god.
this
That
is
sounds
one
like-
drink that really a lot of hard work goes in. Like you let it sit for a year, and
So much of passion in making that
like
drink.
3 days, and again the Chinese believe it has healing properties. And once
Baby
again,
mice, no. I don't know. I mean,
poor baby mice, you have to see the photos sitting in the jar there for 1 year.
1 year.
Killed at a young age. But yeah, these are the list we have, and I'm sure there's so many more weird drinks out there.
Yeah, absolutely, I think.
So apart from the scandalous drinks which we have spoken about so far, which include snakes, bile, baby mice, etc., there are also some unusual cocktails served around the world. Now, they may not necessarily include a weird reptile, but they put together some ingredients which we eat or drink in our daily life, but would not imagine mixing them together in our wildest dream. You know, it's always a challenge for every mixologist to come up with a new mix every now and then. And this list which we have to you poses quite a test for every cocktail lover as well. While the cocktail lover is on the quest to try something new and unique always, the question we are really asking here is, how far would you go to try that something new? And here we are talking about some interesting cocktails which are served in bars and restaurants around the world. First up is the peanut butter and jealous cocktail.
Jealous cocktail?
Yes, well, the jelly has been replaced by jealous.
Oh.
And what exactly goes into this cocktail? It's a combination of raspberries, raspberry vodka, raspberry liqueur, and cranberry juice. And this just sounds about fine. But this is served over ice in a glass rimmed with a mixture of peanut butter and honey. So,
wow.
Can you just imagine peanut butter is something we think about when we think sandwich and breakfast, and suddenly it's there in the cocktail.
Yeah, I've had peanut butter in shakes also.
Yeah.
But having that in your cocktail sounds, I don't know.
Yeah,
something
exactly.
Like drinking a milkshake or something like that.
Absolutely.
Maybe. And especially for people who are allergic to peanut butter, I don't think this is a drink for them.
Please do not try that.
Yeah.
And the next up we have this drink called Summer. And this is served at this place called White and Church. It's a New York bar. And the first few ingredients of this drinks are normal enough. There's a mixture of milk, coconut, creme caramel, and it makes a rich after dinner drink kind of a
sounds
mixture.
quite interesting, actually.
Yeah. But the final touch is, can you guess what?
No.
Grasshoppers.
Oh my god.
Exactly. So here there's a beautiful rich drink that's made called Summer. Sounds absolutely great, and it's given a final touch of grasshoppers. So for anyone who's heading to New York and wants to try something really, really different, this is something that should be on your list. And
if not in Mexico, you can try grasshoppers in New York.
yeah, there you go. And we have, oh god, this combination I'm sure nobody's ever heard of. It's the bacon and egg martini. So now this is served in a club in London. It's a bacon and egg martini, a complete breakfast in a glass. And this bacon flavored Jack Daniel based cocktail is mixed with lemon juice, maple syrup, Angostura bitters, Peychaud's bitters, and egg whites. And this is completed with bacon garnish. Now, can you imagine something like this? It's like liquid breakfast. Ugh.
It's too much in one plate.
Yes.
Yeah. So I also got to know about something. There's a trendy drink called Violet Royale.
Okay.
It's prepared by mixing champagne with crème de violet, a French and Austrian liqueur, which has only recently become available in the United States. The liqueur, which is made using violets from the Alps, has a distinct, refreshing taste, perfect for summer. This is something which is still drinkable. I think we would enjoy that.
Absolutely.
But not like the ones that you mentioned about earlier.
Yeah, bacon and egg. Ugh.
It's like mixing everything and then drinking it in the morning.
But apparently there must be someone out there who likes it, I think.
I'm sure. People who like to try out all the weird and bizarre cocktails.
Yeah.
I'm sure they look for something like that. There's another one called pizza beer.
Okay.
So it's quite unique in a way because the taste resembles quite a lot like a margarita pizza. And it's brewed using tomatoes and garlic and aims to complement a variety of food choices.
Oh, wow.
So if you're really dying to have a margarita pizza, maybe you could go for a pizza beer.
Yeah, I think if you don't have time to have pizza and beer separately, you just have
mix
this
them
together.
and then have it. Yeah, that's funny. There's another one called butter and anchovies martini. So the name is interesting because this is again from White and Church, the bar that you mentioned from New York.
Right.
Looks like they come up with these bizarre cocktails quite often. This martini is made from a combination of vodka, liquid butter, and anchovy.
Oh, I wonder how like butter and egg actually tastes in these cocktails.
That's strange. I think some bartenders and mixologists are working too hard to create some really unique cocktails. Looks like that. There's another one called liquid steak. So, it's something that could be like a really bizarre drink, because this was also listed in one of the grossest mixed drinks in the world.
Oh.
So it's crazy, because obviously you have steak and in your and Bacardi and in oyster sauce. And then, all mixed up, and the cocktail is made like that. So I don't know, again, it's funny.
Sounds like a heavy drink.
I'm sure it is. And beer float. This is usually made in Park Hyatt in Beaver Creek, Colorado, apparently. And this offers a trendy mixture of ice creams and locally brewed beers. So it's kind of a beer float where you cream and frothiness of beer combined with ice creams, and I don't know how it's going to taste like, but yeah.
But I think this still sounds a little sane. Like, of all, if I ever have a dare to try any one of these cocktails, I would
There's
probably...
still, something that you could try. Not the bizarre ones that we spoke about earlier.
Oh God, yes, those reptile ones and the baby mice and all
That's your
of that.
favorite, I know, baby mice.
Well, I don't know if it's my favorite, because the one I'm going to talk about next is, I know, definitely not your favorite when we were talking about...
Oh my God, what is it?
The sourdough cocktail.
Ew.
Yes, what is the sourdough cocktail? Well, very true to its name. The sourdough cocktail has been served in Dawson since 1973. It's served with, hold your breath, a preserved amputated toe.
Oh my God.
Yes, so it's not just the name. The cocktail actually has an amputated toe in it, guys. And, of all the bizarre facts, up until now, there have been 9 toes swallowed during the course of drinking this cocktail. Yes, and in fact, they don't want you. They just want you to enjoy the flavor of the toe and not actually swallow it. So now, apparently, there's a penalty for swallowing the toe, which goes up to $2,500.
So they expect you to what? Chew it?
I don't know, probably suck on it and spit it out or chew it, but do not swallow it. And so this is something which is
really bizarre.
Very, very bizarre, I must say. And so there's also another drink called the Moby Dick Sazerac. Okay, and so one of the ingredients in this is the ambergris, a component in perfumes made of whale vomit. Now, this is something which is usually used in perfumes, which is actually used in this Moby Dick cocktail. And the other ingredient used in this are absinthe, rice, rye, and various others. But that's the main component which I think makes it qualify to the bizarre drinks of the... So, Rojita, I have a question for you. If you had a choice... You're standing on a cliff and you have to have one of these, okay? There's the sourdough cocktail and one of those cocktails with like a lizard or a mice in it. What would you choose?
I think I could still have the snake wine.
The snake wine.
That's still drinkable, maybe, because obviously you're not going to drink the snake.
Yeah.
Maybe if I don't see the bottle, then I can still, grab the glass and try a little bit of that. But these ones, oh my God, no way.
And also the snake wine, because we mentioned as healing properties. So somewhere down the line, there will be some
It's like medicine.
benefit.
Yeah, you feel like, oh, this is medicine. You can still take a sip. What about you? Which one would you...
Baby mice.
Yeah, you obsessed with baby mice, I know.
I've been so intrigued with that cocktail that I can't imagine having anything else. And we have some more interesting ones. There's the low side of the road, this cocktail. Now, this one might seem like it was destined to happen, though it's rarely seen on cocktail menus. And this is served in one of the bars in Atlanta. It features tequila infused with coffee and mushroom, raspberry, zucca, lime, and a pinch of salt.
Nice.
So yeah, this again a very weird mix, I think, because we have spoken about such weird mixes till now.
Yeah.
This still seems sane.
This doesn't qualify to be the bizarre drinks. Maybe weird, yes, but not bizarre.
Yeah, because I don't know how coffee and mushroom and raspberry and all of that will work out together. And but it's served with one of the hamburgers. And it goes pretty well, and I think there are more people who have tried out these things. So I think if anybody is out there who's had those regular cocktails enough and is looking to try something different, here is our list that we have given to you.
Absolutely. I think you could just go ahead and try mixing some at home if you're really adventurous enough to do that. Otherwise, you'll have to find a place to try out all the places that we mentioned.
Yeah, but I think there are enough people out there who are willing to try something new, and like we can see, there are enough mixologists out there who are, I'm sure there is a pressure to come up with a new cocktail, but this is taking it a level too far, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alright, so that's all we have for our episode today, and do subscribe to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Audio Boom, or any other local podcast app. You can also follow and like the Drinks and Destinations on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. And we are also on YouTube now. Yes, the Drinks and Destination podcast is on YouTube. So you can subscribe, like, follow, share, comment Indus Vox Media on YouTube.
And remember, while all of us love our tipple, make sure that you drink responsibly.
See you next time, guys.
Bye-bye.
Our podcasts bring all the boys to the yard, and damn right, they're better than yours. But you don't need to stand outside in the yard. Just follow IVM Podcasts on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We might be on Tinder too. Just go ahead and swipe right.